everybody, this is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you what books I have to read for the Read German Books in 2020 challenge that was put forth by Britta Bowler and Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures. And yeah, I think I've got a little, it's a very small stack, but it's a very interesting, in my opinion, little stack of books that were translated from the German. So we'll go ahead and get on that right now. The one I'm currently reading is The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. This is also a part of a reading group that was created by Andrea from Infinite Text and Claudia from Spencer's Library. The read-along is not going as fast as we originally they originally intended, or as I originally intended to read it, but I'm still going along, and I finally feel like it's picked up a bit where I can get more into reading it. But yeah, this is my first pick. Second is a new edition. It's Imperium by Christian Kracht. He is a Swiss writer in German, writing in German, and this was translated from the German by Daniel Bowles. This was originally copyrighted in 2012, and the translation is from 2015, and it's from Picador. And I got this mainly because I wanted something that was more contemporary than what I already had, and you'll see what I already have in a minute. And I wanted something that felt like it might have a little humor in it. And basically what this story is about is this man who okay, let's just put it this way. It takes place in 1902, so technically this is historical fiction. And then in 1902, a radical vegetarian and nudist from Nuremberg named August Engelhardt set sail for what was then called the Bismarck Archipelago. His destination was the island of Cavacon, and he wanted to set up a colony based on the worship of the sun and coconuts. Now, the setup sounds fairly humorous, so I was wondering if it would be, and frankly, the setup kind of reminded me of a Christopher Moore novel, and I like Christopher Moore, so yeah. I have no idea whether I'm gonna like it or not. I haven't heard much about it. I found it on a website that was suggesting books, and I thought it was something I'd like, so I got it, and I'm gonna try it. Next up is a book you have most likely seen before, because this is quite trending on BookTube right now. It's The Artificial Silk Girl by Irmgard Coyne, and it's about a girl, or a young woman, I think. Yeah, so I'm trying to avoid spoilers for this, so I will read it, and I hope I like it. Next up is Hermann Hesse, Siddhartha. This is one of those classics of German literature. This was from 1951. Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like I should be telling you who the translator is, but on some of these, it's kind of hard to find. Yeah, I can't see it on here. But this is one of those things that most serious readers have read, but we'll see if I get to it. I'm planning on it. Next up is The Grand Hotel by Vicky Baum. I'm assuming this is about a hotel. And some interesting things are going on here. Oh, this one was translated from the German by Basil Creighton. See? Yay! Translation and information. First published in 1930. So this particular edition was published in 1948 by Pan Macmillan, or Pan Books is what it says. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about, but I've heard good things, and I thought it might be interesting to especially if it takes place in like an old hotel or something. I kind of like those stories. This next one would be a reread for me, but I still want to read it. It's The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. It's been a while since I read this. And, ooh, there's an afterword by the translator. So the translator must be on here. It says a new translation, so it's fairly hyping it. A new translation by Donna Freed. But of course, this is an old book, so it's probably not a new translation anymore. But I remember reading all these and really enjoying them, and I'm looking forward to revisiting this one. It includes a Metamorphosis, of course, and some new stuff, like The Hunger Artist is like my favorite, though. A Hunger Artist, not the... Anyhow, I'm looking forward to it. Next up is a book that I've actually already I started last year. And it's The Sorrows of Young Werther by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And it was translated, and it has an introduction by Burton Pike. Yeah, I got up to like page 50 on this, but the thing is I had the end spoiled for me, and it's fairly depressing, and I'm like, well, you know, it's got sorrows on it, so, duh. But, yeah, it's a fairly low-key kind of book, and I know where it's gonna end up, so I found myself reluctant to keep going with it, but I'm already a third of the way through, and there's pretty much like 99 pages left, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish that this year, and that'll be a part of this readathon. Next up is also partially a reread, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to that this year, but this is the last book on my list for an obvious reason, and it's Death in Venice and Other Stories by Thomas Mann. So because I'm spending so much time on the Magic Mountain this year, this is going to be lower on my priorities to get to with the other books, and I've already read Death in Venice. I'm not sure what other stories are in here, but I really loved Death in Venice. It made me more likely to pick up the Magic Mountain, even though I find the writing to be very different from this story to the Magic Mountain. But, you know, it's a different kind of format, I guess. You know, the short story and a giant honking book about nothing, basically. So, yeah. All right. I don't know if I was entirely coherent there, but I hope I made some sense. This is my little stack of German books I'm going to try to get to this year. Yeah. Okay, so that was my TBR for the Read German Books in 2020 challenge. If you're taking part, please let me know, and let me know if you're reading anything interesting. Also, just in general, feel free to like, share, or subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.